So then, how do we know there's one? Great, let's go into a philosophy and then I'll teach you the poem next time. Okay, we'll see. Here it goes. By definition, everybody has to be, not everybody, everybody. Yes? All goof. I said it well? Not everybody. Yeah. No, everybody. You want to spell it in English for everyone? Everybody. No, just say that in a nice way. Just say that in an English accent. No, everybody.
Your physical body.
Yes. Not your physical body. Anything, let's just go like this. Anything that has a physical body, great, it is limited. Yes, by definition, does this make sense? Everything that is a body, it is limited. Why? Because by definition, a body is physical, and everything that is physicality is limited. By definition, right? If God would have some sort of a body, by the way, it doesn't matter how big or small your body is, he would still be limited. You understand that? By the way, when you think about something physical, let's say I say a giant. Do you think like, wow, he could do anything, right? You know, the Torah says, right, God has no body, no shape, no form. What is the greatness of God? So Torah tells you, imagine, you know, when the Jewish people came into Israel, there was a huge giant called Og. Og lifted up the mountain and was going to throw it at the Jewish people like he was playing bowling, right? Imagine you're standing there and you see this guy just lifting up a mountain. Would you say, wow, how do you do that? Would you say that? So most people say, yes, that's crazy. How did you lift up a mountain? But if you ever think about it, if you would be his size, you would be able to do it too. This is when I taught Sabrina that there is this thing called Iron Man that she didn't know it existed, and people lift up airplanes, and then she was in shock. Okay? So now, that would be amazing. But now, let's say you see Og entering the hole of an ant. Is that amazing? Yeah, because you're huge. How do you do that, right? But now, let's say you see an ant entering its hole. Is that amazing? No, because if you would be that little. But could you enter the hole of an ant? Meaning, whatever physical form you have, it doesn't matter how great or small it is, it has its greatness, but it has parallelly inversed, you know, weaknesses. Therefore, by definition, if you would say that God has any type of body or form, it doesn't matter how big or small you make it, right, or any texture or any shape or whatever you want, by definition, it means it would be limited, okay? Now, this is very important. So how do you know God has no body? So here it goes. If something would have a body, how are you able to recognize it does have a body? Because it occupies space, yes? The fact that it occupies space means it is limited, and it also means, listen to it, that you could say there is more than one. Because the fact that it occupies space means you could signal it and say, this is you and this is not you. You understand? I am signaling this is you and this is not you. By definition, if God would occupy space, he would be limited, and then you could say, I'm not saying there is, but you could say there's more than one, right? Because you would be able to say you're this and you're not this, okay? Something physical means you could count it, you could separate it, you could, you know. Now, obviously, I'm one Raquel, right? But the fact that I'm one could mean there could be someone else, you know, because I'm counting. The moment that I count, it makes it limited. The moment that I could signal on something and be able to say, this is what you are, this is, it makes it limited because it's separated. It means it occupies space. You're here, you're not here, right? The moment something occupies space also means it is limited to time. That's a great limitation because there's no way you could be in two places at once. You know, even Hermione, right, in Harry Potter, when she was in all of the classes, at the same time, she was using a special clock that, you ever thought about this? It wouldn't make her be in the two classes at a time. It would make her go back in time. Because you cannot be in the two places at once. Isn't that deep? You know, think about this. Yeah? She could go back in time and repeat another class, but she herself wouldn't be able to be in the two places at one time. Because that is unlimited. You understand? And therefore it cannot happen, right? And then what do you get? Here it goes. Everything that it's limited, its energy finishes. Its energy is perecedora. How do you say perecedora? None of you know Spanish. Forget about this. Okay. It means its energy, it's finishing. What do you say when something is going to finish soon? Perez? No, you have a word for that in English, don't you have? Like if you have a bomb and it's going tick, 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 and one day it's soon going to finish, there's a word for the idea that it's going to finish. No? Huh?
Like it has a deadline.
It has a deadline. Detonate is because the bomb is going to detonate, but I'm saying it has a deadline. But there's another word for that, like a big word. Okay, fine. We're gonna learn English here too. Okay. Everything that is listen to this. Everything that is limited means its energy is limited. If God would be limited, his energy would be limited. But now what happens? Very important point. Anything that makes move cannot have limited energy, right? Because if it would have limited energy, whatever it makes move would be ending soon also, right? Anything that moves that moves constantly, yes? If you have electricity in this building, if the electricity finishes, the light of the building finishes, right? If the world, or whatever you want, is constantly moving, it needs to mean that the source that is constantly making the world move needs to be constant itself. Because if not, the world would finish. And therefore, you should just understand this. The moment you imagine the world without being a God, you of course imagining no world. There's no way, because the world has something that makes it move. It doesn't move by itself, and we all know this. The big man knows this, everyone knows this, right? And therefore, what are we saying? Everything that constantly makes move, its energy is unlimited. Therefore, being that God makes the world move constantly, it means that his energy is unlimited. And anything, so then now we go on a vicious cycle, and anything that its energy is unlimited, by definition cannot be physical, and therefore by definition can only be one, because it cannot be counted as anything else. Everyone got this? Should I go again? Let's go again. This is like photosynthesis. You know, when you go the whole thing and then you go back to it. You like photosynthesis? I really like chemistry, biology, and physics in my school. Okay. I think science is like, wow. But it should just understand its limitations. And then I'll make peace with science completely. You understand? You're not perfect, science. I mean, science is pretty perfect when there's God. There's no God, you're going to have some limitations, and it's not going to be good. Okay, it goes like this, right? Everybody, it's limited. If God would be a body, doesn't matter shape, form, size, it would have to be limited. The definition of a body is something that's physical. Physical by definition means limited and contained, yeah? If a body is limited, then it means it occupies space, because you're able to signal, you're able to say, this is what you are and this is what you're not. The moment something is able to occupy space, it means there could be more than one. If God would be limited, he could be more than one, but the fact that he is unlimited and has no body or not form makes it that he is unlimited and doesn't occupy space. Now, when we talk about this, you're going to see, because the idea of not occupying space is very important. There's a big question, where is God? So you're going to pretty much see that God is everywhere and it's nowhere at the same time, because if God doesn't occupy space, you cannot say where God is. Yeah, because the definition of saying where something is means it's occupying a certain space, but God cannot be anywhere. But then how could you also understand the fact that God cannot be anywhere, but he's everywhere? Doesn't make sense, but it does. We're going to explain this, right? Everything that it's limited, its energy is limited. Something that moves something constantly means it cannot have limited energy. It has to be unlimited, because it's not only moving itself, it's making something else move, and something else depends on that energy, which has to be unlimited in order to give it the ability to move freely. Therefore, that means that God, energy being that he is unlimited, God is not physical, he doesn't occupy space, and therefore there's only one. Great. Great. And then I'm throwing you some bombs next time. Any questions till now?
Thank you.
No. Beautiful. Thank you.